everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome you as we celebrate today the 59th commencement exercises at the State University of New York at Old Westbury and the graduating class of 2025. I thank the friends and family members of our graduating class for joining us this morning, this afternoon. I would also like to thank Donna Armitage and Ms. Kathy McClare, our sign interpreters today. As we begin, I will now call forward Ms. Lysandra Ramos to present our land acknowledgement for our campus and this venue we occupy.
As we begin, I'd like to acknowledge where we stand, that we have the privilege of gathering here today in the ancestral lands of the Merrick and the Matinecock people, who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. We honor their many contributions, strength, and resilience. We honor their resilience in protecting this land, and we hope our graduates will continue to be inspired by their example and uphold our social and environmental justice mission in all their future endeavors. Congratulations.
It gives me great pleasure at this time to welcome Ms. Sheila Washington, a staff member of the SUNY Old Westbury and a 2016 graduate of our institution, who will sing the national anthem. I ask that if you can stand, please do so now.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still
Please be seated. And thank you, Sheila. Today is an immensely proud moment for our institution. More than 1,000 candidates applied for graduation this year. Esteemed faculty, staff, graduates, families, supporters, and friends, today we celebrate our exceptional graduates. I ask that everyone right now scream at the top of your lungs and clap as loudly as possible for our graduates. Anyone else? Faculty, thank you for your fidelity to our mission and countless hours teaching, advising, mentoring, conducting research with and nurturing our students who now stand prepared to put into praxis the game-changing education that you provided them. Thank you for your commitment and your work. We are eternally grateful. To our staff, you maintain a transformational campus that provides comprehensive services and support a holistic and growth-oriented learning environment. Thank you for animating our mission and ensuring the success of our students. To the families and supporters, it takes a village to raise a graduate. Your support over the decade has provided today's graduates with the confidence and reassurance needed to succeed. You have sacrificed for them, cheered them on, even today, celebrated their victories, and provided a safe and supportive environment. Today is your day as well. Congratulations on a well-deserved honor. Now, to our graduates. Graduates, you made it. Let's hear you make some noise, graduates. I'm here to tell you that your late nights, vigorous debates, your grit, moments of existential angst, long hours of research, and all the ups and downs leading to this moment were worth it. You are graduating. Given the uncertainty, chaos, and mean-spirited of our world, we need the superpowers that you developed while at SUNY Westbury. We need your ethically informed knowledge that allows you to make thoughtful, inclusive, and just decisions. We need your honed skills that enable you to work in the best interest of every person. We need your conviction to make a better world for generations to come. And we need your ability to succeed and achieve despite the chaos and hatred and the anti-science, anti-intellectual, and anti-people sentiment that runs amok today. In short, graduates, you OW graduates are what the world needs right now. Your OW education taught you to acquire facts, think critically, and to act with empathy and a sense of responsibility. So as you boldly pursue your pursuits, seek the truth, be compassionate, and contribute to society. Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Graduates, go forward and wield your weapon wisely. As you go forward and create a more compassionate world, I ask that you maintain your energy and love for your alma mater by being a fully engaged and generous alumni who will work to make OW even better. Thank you. Thank you for entrusting SUNY Old Westbury to prepare you for the next and longest leg of your journey in life. We consider it both an honor and a privilege to be your school of choice, and we will forever be grateful to you. Congratulations. And now some introductions. First, the platform party. Ladies and gentlemen, when I call your name, please stand. I'm going to ask you to hold your applause until everyone stands, okay? We are pleased to have with us today, representing the Old Westbury College Council, Miss Millie Makanjani. Also with us today, please welcome Miss Nora Bassett, Chair of the Old Westbury College Foundation, Incorporated, and Dr. Lorraine Cochran, the Alumni Association President. Our Grand Marshal today, Dr. Fred Mijan, Distinguished Service Professor of Psychology. Also with us on the platform today is our cabinet and senior staff. Please stand. We can see the names and their titles on page 6 of our program. Representing our faculty today is Dr. Kyle Anderson, past chair of the Faculty Senate. Last but certainly not least, please welcome the student elected to speak on behalf of the senior class, Miss Natalie Malatino. You can now applaud. Thank you. Presenting greetings this morning are, it is customary during commencement exercises at Old Westbury for each of the varied populations that make up our community and our campus to bring greetings to the graduating class. Presenting greetings this morning are College Council Chair Makanjani, Dr. Anderson of the faculty, and our student speaker, Ms. Malatino. Ms. Makanjani, will you please greet our graduates?
Good afternoon, graduates. Today marks both an end and a beginning. End of food halls, final exams, term papers, and sadly, Thursday nights signaling the start of, I'm sure, some very crazy weekends. But it's also the beginning of the rest of your journey to fulfill your dreams. This accomplishment proves you can overcome obstacles, persevere, and achieve your goals. Now you know that when you set goals, you can reach them. Some of you will be entering the workforce, others may pursue graduate degrees. Either way, ignore all of that noise out there and go do it. Just like you did this. Go get that job, go get that degree. Let only one voice fill your mind, which is yours, saying, I'm ready, because you all are ready. Are you concerned about the future? Have doubts, fears? We've all had them. Every one of us sitting up here have had them. What matters most is what you do about it. The job market is tough. How will you stand out? Graduate school is demanding. How will you succeed again? But doubts are normal. I actually find them quite motivating. And remember, just because you're graduating, it doesn't mean that SUNY Old Westbury fades away. You are part of this family now, and this historic university is part of your story. Think of the friends you've made. They're going to be with you forever. Think of the professors who challenged and encouraged you. They'll always be here. Your diploma will be like a warm blanket, a strong shield, and an opener of many doors to come. I see world changers in front of me. I see great thinkers who will improve all of our lives. I see a generation that won't accept the unacceptable just because it's always been that way. The future is bright. Now get out there, make a difference, blaze a trail, and prove that today is just the beginning. Own your future, 2025 graduates, and congratulations.
All right, class of 2025, let's hear it. As a faculty member, this is my favorite day of the year, every year, celebrating with our wonderful students in this wonderful place. You know, I'm a historian, right? So I have an appreciation for the history of this building. Dr. J played here. This has been the site of some amazing musical performances, like 34 sold-out Billy Joel shows, 44 shows from the Grateful Dead and its various incarnates, Sheila Washington's performance in 2025. Talk about historic. So one last time, I want to hear it. Class of 2025, let me hear you! Congratulations. I want each of you to take a moment, breathe, look around, and soak in this amazing moment. You've made it here, surrounded by friends, family, teachers, and staff who supported you. You've committed to yourself, and you've achieved a major life goal. Author Mark Manson describes commitment as the third key stage in life, following mimicry and self-discovery and leading to leaving a legacy. So these are the 4 stages: mimicry, number 2 is self-discovery, number 3 is commitment, and number 4 is leaving a legacy. So mimicry, stage 1, starts at birth, where we learn by copying others, right? We learn how to walk, how to talk, how to adapt to society's rules. And in this first stage, we learn how to fit in. But stage 2, self-discovery, is about finding out what makes us unique. It involves a level of experimentation, right? You get to live in new places, meet new people, and learn new things. And at SUNY Old Westbury, our liberal arts curriculum is designed to expose our students to the broad swath of subjects and disciplines, ranging from the humanities to the natural sciences, social sciences, languages, etc. So this broad approach should have given you some sense of what you're good at, but also a sense of your own limitations, right? What are you not good at? And at the very least, I think we all have learned that our time is limited, and we have to prioritize how we spend our time every day and in our lives. So once you learn what matters most to you and what you're good at, you can move on to stage 3, commitment. And in this stage, you set goals and you pursue them with all your energy. And just like we just heard from Chair Makajani, right, a clear goal can make every decision in your life easier, right? It's simple. You just ask yourself, is this going to help me achieve my goal or not? And if the answer is no, you don't do it, right? So a goal is like a North Star that can guide you in your life. And by the time that we get to stage 4, it's usually later in life, and we're thinking about leaving a legacy, right? And this comes after you dedicate time and energy to what you consider to be meaningful work. And the goal at this stage is to ensure that your influence continues on for future generations. And so, you can leave a legacy in multiple ways. This could mean for you raising children or staying politically active and devoting yourself to a cause that makes the world a better place. We hope on this stage that it also means staying involved with SUNY Old Westbury to keep our collective community thriving. So while I think that these 4 stages are a helpful guide to think about how life evolves, today I want to encourage you to think of them not as fixed stages that follow in progression from one to another, but rather as modes of living, right? Mimicry is always going to be part of learning. You learn from somebody who knows better than you, and you copy them. But you will only reach your potential by taking it to that next level and adding your own unique twist. And once you find your path, pursue it with vigor, and this will help you build a legacy for future generations as you do. So in some ways, you've already practiced this process at SUNY Old Westbury by committing to graduating and successfully completing that. So now, it's just a matter of taking this process out into the world and replicating it again and again in all aspects of your life. And because you've done it before, I know that you all can do it again, and all of us on the stage here will help you in achieving this process in other parts of your life, and all of these people here will help you as well. So let me say it one more time. Congratulations, Class of 2025. You've earned this moment. Be proud. Go Panthers! Woo!
Good afternoon, and congratulations. It's an honor to stand before the graduating class of 2025, their families, and all who have supported us at SUNY Old Westbury. As we stand on the edge of this new chapter in our lives, we recognize that the world around us is filled with complexities and challenges that we may not have all the answers for, but we are aware of the obstacles we may face. However, with every challenge comes the potential for us to shape the future. We are the generation that has the power to adapt, learn, and make a difference. Today, we are not only graduating with a diploma, but with the tools to navigate and contribute to a world in need of understanding and progress. We are the creators of our own future. I'd like to share a bit of my journey. I began my college career at another SUNY school, struggling to finish the semester. Transferring to SUNY Old Westbury changed my life. Instead of just going to class, I dove into every opportunity, living on campus, joining clubs, working, interning, studying abroad in France, and connecting with faculty. This experience helped me become more independent and clarified my path forward, leading me to pursue a master's program at Seton Hall University this fall. Now, to the class of 2025, I'm incredibly proud of us. College isn't easy, and life never has been or will be. We will never be able to follow a linear path, but we all make it out in the end. There will be struggles faced along the way, but standing here today proves it's worth it. Each of us has come from a unique background and created our own path up until this moment. Regardless of how you got here, you made it. Use your experiences as a guide for the future. Embrace every opportunity that comes your way, even if you're unsure. The worst that happens is discovering what's not for you. As we move to the next stage, whether it's graduate school, a career, or something else, the unknown is always intimidating. But just as we moved out of our comfort zones during our time at Old Westbury, we'll face new challenges. Be present and believe in yourself. I'm reminded of the song Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. I quote, "Don't you worry, you'll find yourself, follow your heart and nothing else." This moment marks the beginning for many of us, and this line can serve as a powerful reminder. Trust yourself, listen to what drives you, and let your heart lead. The rest will come to you. While the list of people I should thank is endless, I want to be sure to touch on a few people who have supported me throughout this journey. My family, especially my parents, have always been my biggest supporters and have been willing to do whatever it takes to watch me succeed. My second family, including my boyfriend and my best friend, who have watched me grow since middle school. I'm grateful for Professor Manitovich for his advice on studying abroad and my future, as well as Dr. Edward and President Sams for their support and their constant faith in me. Truthfully, I appreciate everyone I've interacted with at SUNY Old Westbury. Lastly, though, I owe much of my growth to the Student Government Association and my advisor, Paul Ferrante. From my beginning serving as an academic senator to my term this year as president, you have all motivated me to be the best leader and advocate I could be for my fellow students. This has been a challenging but incredibly rewarding experience, and it's taught me resilience for whatever comes next. In closing, my advice is simple. Own your future, trust your instincts, and know that it will all work out, because it always does. Thank you, Old Westbury. This has been an unforgettable journey, and congratulations.
Thank you, Natalie. As we today mark the closing of the 2024-25 academic year, we do so while remembering all those who have been lost, who contributed to us as members of our campus community. In this regard, our institution has taken today 2 formal actions. First, we mark the loss of a dear friend and colleague, Dr. Manya Mascareno, who passed away last fall. Earlier today, SUNY Old Westbury enacted a posthumous promotion of Dr. Mascareno from the rank of associate professor to professor to recognize the valuable role she played in teaching, research, and mentorship while a member of our biological science faculty. Can I ask the Mascareno family to please stand? Thank you for sharing Manya with our campus, and know she will be remembered for all the good she did for our students and her colleagues. Next, we remembered and honored a student who was not able to complete his studies, his life taken away from him several years ago through an act of violence. Prior to our ceremony today, I presented a Bachelor of Science in memoriam to the family of Kadus Shito in recognition of his work toward a degree in public health. Would Kadus's family please rise and be recognized? Please know that Kadus and each of you are in our thoughts, and we hope today's action brings some notion of comfort to you all. It is now my pleasure to recognize the excellence of our students and faculty. I will begin by acknowledging a student who has achieved much during his collegiate career at Old Westbury. Would Mr. Jacob Mott please stand? Jacob is the winner of the highest honor SUNY Old Westbury bestows, the President's Medal for Scholarship. He graduates today with a yes, that's good. He graduates today with a Bachelor's of Arts in Politics, Economics, and Law, having earned a 3.94 GPA. From earning attendance to the Harvard Kennedy School of Public Policy Leadership Conference to participating in the SUNY Model European Union, winning the prestigious Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship to study abroad in both Madrid, Spain, and Pueblo, Mexico. He has wrung the most out of every experience at Old Westbury. He is a wonderful reflection of what we want our students to be: academically strong, globally aware, and service-minded. Once again, please congratulate Mr. Jacob Mott, winner of the 2025 SUNY Old Westbury President's Medal of Scholarship. It is now my pleasure to acknowledge the recipients of the Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence, the highest honor awarded by the State University of New York. Only 193 undergraduate students system-wide received this honor this year. 2 were students of SUNY Old Westbury. Would Mr. Michael Costarelli and Mr. Timothy Coventry please stand? Michael Costarelli graduates today with a BA in Politics, Economics, and Law. Tim Coventry graduates today with a BA in Media and Communications. Michael and Tim, we salute you for your outstanding achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in a round of applause for the winners of the 2025 SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence. Congratulations. Student excellence cannot be achieved without the excellence within our faculty and our staff. Let me take a few moments to shine the spotlight on those members of the SUNY Old Westbury faculty and staff who joined me on stage after having been selected as winners of the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Excellence. We begin with the SUNY's Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service. Winning the award this year is Dr. Lorenz Neuwirth, Professor of Psychology. Dr. Neuwirth stay standing, please. Dr. Neuwirth's honor recognizes his consistently superior service contributions as a full-time member of our faculty. As described by his colleagues in nominating him, Dr. Neuwirth's service has been extraordinary and exemplary. The breadth of that service is wide and has been conducted in connection with such groups as the Prodigy Committee, the Faculty University Award Committee, the Budget Planning Committee, and during the pandemic, the COVID-19 and Environmental Safety Committee. Added to that are the multitude of activities he takes up in support of the many professional organizations in which he is active. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Neuwirth. Our next honoree is known well by many in our alumni family and our campus community. Would Miss Laura Gallagher, Administrative Assistant in the School of Business, please stand? Laura has been named the winner of the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in the Classified Service. Our honoree exhibits an unwavering commitment to serving our students and does so while always maintaining a friendly, approachable manner. With 32 years of service to our campus, Ms. Gallagher is recognized widely as an invaluable member of our university community, consistently exceeding expectations in her support of faculty, students, and external stakeholders. This is so true that this very moment she volunteered to help check in and prepare our graduates for their big day before donning her regalia and marching to the stage. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Laura Gallagher, winner of the 2025 Chancellor's Award for Excellence in the Classified Service. Congratulations once more to our award-winning students, faculty, and staff. At SUNY Westbury, we continually strive to build upon the academic excellence that has always existed at this institution. And part of our being an excellent institution lies in our ability to identify the excellence within others. Recipients of honorary degrees have distinguished themselves by their contributions to their field, to society, and to the university. This year, we are honored to recognize Dr. Sylvester James Gates, Jr. for his exceptional achievements. On behalf, yes, please. On behalf of the State University of New York at Old Westbury, I invite Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. David Lanoux, and Dr. Sylvester James Gates, Jr. to come forward for today's conferral. You're here, Dr. Gates. Before conferring the honorary degree, I will read the university citation, which is also presented to Dr. Gates today. It reads as follows. Dr. Sylvester James Gates, Jr., your story stands as a grand example of the American dream. From your early days living on a U.S. Army base in Newfoundland, where you first became enamored with space after seeing the film Space Aways, to your time as a first-generation student at MIT, through today when you are recognized around the world for your pioneering work in supersymmetry and supergravity. You have epitomized the motto of the State University of New York: to learn, to serve, and to search. Your work is of the highest caliber. By connecting Einstein's theory of general relativity to theory of gravity, to the standard model of particle physics, a theory of electricity, magnetism, and nuclear forces, you were able to marry the two major achievements of the 20th century in physics. Moreover, your co-authorship in 1984 of Superspace, 1001 Lessons in Supersymmetry, provided the world with its first comprehensive resource on supersymmetry. Equally impressive is your continued diligent commitment to providing students and scientists around the world with strong science education and research motivation. Along with your longstanding commitment to the University of Maryland, You travel the nation and world to speak to students, especially those from underrepresented communities, sharing your inspiring ability to integrate math, science, and the arts and humanities as you compel them to continue their journeys of learning and discovery. You have been recognized at the highest levels for your intellect and achievements, including being the first African American theoretical physicist elected to the National Academy of Sciences and being awarded the 2011 National Medal of Science by U.S. President Obama. Today, we at the State University of New York are proud to add to your list of superlatives. In honor of all that you have done across your life and career in higher education, and the positive impact you have made and continue to make in our society, the State University of New York at Old Westbury proudly confers upon you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me, the faculty of the State University of New York concurring, I confer upon you, Dr. Sylvester James Gates, Jr., the Doctor of Science honoris causa, and invest you with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. I hand you this diploma and will present the hood appropriate to your degree. Congratulations. No, this time.
Good day. We're going to try that again. Good day. All right. You have to give me a second here to just breathe this all in. I have to tell you that you folks have given me my 11th honorary PhD. Your conferral of this degree, as I shared with the faculty earlier, lifts up the previous one. The previous one came from this small red brick school in Boston called Harvard University. So here we are, and I wish to thank you. I'm always honored when a community invites me to become part of it. And so I want to use the 5 minutes I have here to reflect on some things. One of the interesting parts of my life is I have seen the world. I have traveled the world for about 30 years. And on my first round-the-world trip, because some of us still make a single trip to go around the world, I was in Singapore, and I was shopping for a gift for my wife. A young woman was a salesperson, and she followed me all over the store, not because she was suspicious, but because she was helpful. I thought to myself, this is the most helpful and efficient salesperson I have ever met. We went over to the counter so that I could make my purchase. I gave her my Amex card, She looked down at it and then suddenly looked up and said, "You're not Morgan Freeman?" True story. And so, if one is fortunate, you get to make your dreams come true. I was 4 years old when I started dreaming about becoming a scientist. I'm 74 now. But one learns many lessons in life if you live as long as I do. A lot of people say you don't look it. I like to remind them, if you put a new coat of paint on an old car, it doesn't fix the engine. So I have a request for the graduates. Could you each stand? Come on, stand. And I want these graduates to try to look out on this vast crowd and find the face of someone who put you here. Thank you. Thank you. I have one final request of you graduates. You need to give a round of applause to these people. You may sit. So, it's no surprise, I think, that I have to tell you that our country is living in one of those perilous times. This nation has passed through times like this before. And one of our greatest presidents gave an address at Gettysburg where he talked about the fact that this country is capable of rededicating itself to the principles that sit behind our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. I call on everyone in this room to think about those comments, and especially you young people, because you're the ones who are going to determine what happens in the future, not old guys like me at age 74. So when I look at the future and I hear about things like diversity is a bad thing, what I want to know is what the young people think about that question, not the old people. I'll tell you a story. If you live long enough, you may take on a financial advisor to help you manage your finances. If you walk into your advisor's room and he tells you or she tells you, "I don't believe in diversity in your stock holdings," get out of that room. Because those of you who know about how stocks work know that diversity is how you protect yourself. So I'm going to end. I was told I have 5 minutes, and I want to make a few remarks about things I have found useful in my life. It's a list of things that I tell young people on occasions like this. So one of the most important lessons I have learned is that excellence is the best defense against any kind of discrimination against any person on this planet. So for all of you young folks out there, yes, times may look troubled, but I want you to be the most excellent version of who you can be. Now, the world's not a perfect place. You're going to face challenges. And some of the things I've learned that got me through challenges is a small list I want to share with you. Item number 1, if possible, try to avoid hurting others. Item number 2, know yourself well and see to your own happiness. Guard your honor to the greatest extent possible. Carefully choose your friends. Have a sense of humor about your foolishness. Live your life in such a way that you can never look back and say, if only I had or I should have. Never be afraid to vote with your feet. If you have a democracy, that's one of the greatest things about it. Try to hold opinions based on facts and observations. And if you find yourself standing on a set of railroad tracks and you hear a train coming, get off. Now, my favorite commencement comments come from Horace Mann, who I think made the greatest statement to a bunch of graduates, which was, be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. I therefore charge you, the graduating class of 2025 from Old Westbury of the State University of New York system, with deliberating on these matters. I want you to continue the traditions of this community and go forth and make yourself happy, live bountiful and productive lives. Do that for the people around yourselves and even for people around the world. So congratulations to you. On receiving your degrees, do good, and remember to commit random acts of kindness wherever you are, and especially if you think you see Morgan Freeman.
Dr. Gates, thank you for joining us today and for your contributions to the pursuit of knowledge and excellence. Now I have the pleasure of introducing to you our commencement speaker. I'm very pleased this morning to introduce Dr. Alberto J.F. Cardea. Dr. Cardea is the 9th president of SUNY Oneonta, a role he has held since September of 2021. He is a devoted leader dedicated to building community and championing the needs of students, faculty, and staff for their success. At the heart of his work is a steadfast belief in the transformative role of public higher education, a commitment to equity, and a strong sense of optimism about the potential future generations hold to improve our world. Along with prior administrative posts at Fitchburg State University and East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania, Dr. Kaidea's career includes work in public health with the World Health Organization, the American Medical Student Association, UNICEF, and Oxfam America. Across his career, Dr. Kaidea has exhibited values like integrity, empathy, intercultural understanding, and a commitment to social justice that are central to the spirit and mission of SUNY Old Westbury. I am very eager to hear his thoughts and ready to be inspired by what he believes we can achieve together in society. Ladies and gentlemen, our commencement speaker for today and my friend, Dr. Alberto Cardea.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Y muchas buenas tardes. Thank you. Muchas gracias. I would like to first and foremost congratulate the class of 2025 of SUNY Old Westbury. As I told the graduates at SUNY Oneonta on Saturday, you spent the last few years expanding your knowledge. You've worked hard. You've asked the big questions. You've deepened your understanding of the world and yourselves. And as I know the educators here at SUNY Old Westbury have done their job well, now you see that there's much more to learn. Don't take that as a limitation. That's an invitation. Your time at Old Westbury was about building curiosity, courage, and tools to tackle new questions. That's the work of a lifetime, and you are ready for it. I hope you will always keep seeking for new answers. I would also like to thank President Timothy Sams, a friend and a colleague, as someone that I have gotten to know more and more over the last 4 years, and from whom I am constantly learning from his calm wisdom. I've titled my remarks today, "The Solitude of Deficit." Let me start with a story from a friend of mine, which we'll call Paul. Paul was one of 6 children raised by a single Guatemalan mother in East LA. Before his sophomore year in high school, he dropped out. Although hearing him tell it, it wasn't that purposeful of a decision. He just started missing classes more and more because what was happening in the classroom meant less and less to him. He did not belong, and no one cared to ask him why. Now, what's interesting is where he did find his belonging, in the gangs of East LA. Paul's tattoos are testament to this time. He rose through the ranks of the gangs. He attributes much of his leadership skills today from the gangs, from his elder homeboys who showed him the power of belonging. After a while, he did realize that the actuarial tables on that lifestyle were not favorable. So using the confidence that he had gained from the gang life, he showed up and he approached a community college where he got his GED and then his associate's degree, and then went on to Central Michigan, where he got a bachelor and a PhD in sociology. He led the university's college access program until he became provost in the community college in Massachusetts, which is where I got to know him. He became an Aspen Fellow. He served 4 years as Vice President for Learning at the Achieving the Dream, and now he is CEO of his own consulting company. He's a good guy. You can clap. He attributes his success to a professor who took the time to believe in him, to create expectations, and to invest time in how he prepared his community college classes. Paul took that and now has multiple articles and 2 books on what he calls the pedagogy of real talk. If we stick to the theory of path dependence that says that Paul's history will have predicted his future. Paul was perfectly tracking for so many of the educational completion stats that we hear about among students of color. The fact that 52% of Latino college students consider stopping out their coursework for at least one term, compared to 36% of the general population. Or that 6-year graduation rates for Latino students at 4-year universities is 52%, 13% lower percentage points than the general population. But instead, Paul is part of stats that we do not hear about very much. And if I'm bold enough, sometimes we do not repeat them enough. In 2019, for example, Hispanic households earned more than $1.2 trillion. This allowed them to pay $308 billion in taxes, as well as more than $196 billion in federal taxes and $112 in state taxes. After taxes, Hispanic households held more than $910 billion in spending power. Or that Hispanic immigrants significantly more likely to be entrepreneurs. More than 12% of all Hispanic workers work for their own businesses, making them 30% more likely to have their own business than the overall U.S. population. So I titled this talk, The Solitude of Deficit, in part as a nod to one of the greatest speeches ever written, that given by Gabriel Garcia Marquez in his acceptance speech for his Nobel Prize in Literature in 1992, which he titled The Solitude of Latin America. In that speech, he reflects on the narratives of Latin America. He describes the unique historical, social, and cultural experience of Latin America, of struggles with violence, political instability, and social injustice, was the only thing that dominated the region, the narratives of the region, with very little mention of its riches in cultural heritage and resilience. He, in that speech, called for a recognition and respect of Latin America's identity, urging the world to understand its narratives on their own terms rather than through Eurocentric lenses. He concludes the speech by saying, "The immeasurable violence and pain of our history are the result of age-old inequities and untold bitterness. And we must work to write a new narrative, a new sweeping utopia of life, where no one will be able to decide for others how they die, where love will prove and happiness be possible, and where the races condemned to 100 years of solitude will at last and forever have a second opportunity on earth." Garcia Marquez argues with exquisite prose that the true empowerment occurs when we develop our own expectations and desires and do not allow others to dictate them, especially when those are dictated upon deficit. Said in another way by Jacqueline Rose, the world-renowned literary critic, we need to be endlessly vigilant in not allowing victimhood become who we are. I hope you provide me with some latitude here and allow me to argue that we must be cautious given this. We must be cautious in that by focusing on things such as imposter syndrome, we may be risking and identifying ourselves with a very ill-defined pathology. Those that first defined the imposter phenomenon never intended for people to have imposter syndrome. Rather, it was a phenomenon that individuals experienced when going through hiring, promotion, leadership, and compensation discussions. In fact, they argue that a concept designed to liberate individuals from the structural barriers has now become yet another way of disempowerment. A syndrome transfers what is wrong with the system to something that is wrong with the individual. The diagnosis has become a cultural force, fortifying the very phenomenon it was supposed to cure. Hence, the solitude of deficit. Can I propose instead that instead of a syndrome, that what we need is a new mindset, maybe a subset of the growth mindset? The no me importa un pepino, or the I don't care a cucumber, or I don't care a crap mindset. This mindset calls for us to develop our own expectations, not based on code shifting and assimilation, but leaning into who we are, what our lived experiences have taught us, and make that our asset, not a deficit defined by others. The solitude of deficit has us believe that our rich and beautiful cultures, languages, and racial and ethnic diversity do not belong here, and that the success only results from shedding our Latinidad. However, when we hide and tone down our identities and voices, we limit our full potential. In omitting such foundational parts of ourselves, we are pretending to be something we are not. That is the moment we become imposters. I recall when I was first appointed vice provost at the institution where I started my administrative career, and having my wife Rachel tell me that one of her colleagues at a nearby college had told her that, well, the only reason that I had gotten the job was because I was Latino. Lucky for me, I had just heard Dr. Freeman Hrabowski, the former president of the University of Maryland, Baltimore campus, in which he made the argument that if we value the pedigree of degrees so much in academia, why don't we value the lived experiences as well? So having heard President Hrabowski, and my reaction was, well, I hope so. I hope the provost saw that what I brought to the table was a perspective he lacked in his staff, and that my experience was an asset. If we want the future opportunities, like Garcia Marquez said, we must create the new narratives of asset and construct our own expectation. All of our students must be encouraged through the expectation of their makings, not determined by the expectations of insufficiency. In the current context, in which the window of DEI is very rapidly narrowing, our students, our colleagues, our leaders must lead with an unapologetic voice. But we must also ensure that we create expectations of actions that lead to correct the structural deficits, not individual deficits. We must teach the past and the deficits others imposed, but equip the future and the assets we possess. We must understand the past, but act for the future. We must understand the constraints of the past, but identify with the assets that we are for the future. Let us all be like the Roman god Janus, that had two faces, one looking past to the past and the other one facing to the future. Otherwise, we allow the narrative of the past to define the future. I'd like to leave you with the words of the Spanish poet Antonio Machado and his poem El Caminante. Caminante, son tus huellas el camino y nada más. Caminante, no hay camino, se hace camino al andar. Al andar se hace el camino y volver la vista atrás, se ve la senda que nunca se va de volver a pisar. Caminante, no hay camino, sino estelas en la mar. Traveler, your footprints are the only road, nothing else. Traveler, there is no road. You make your own path as you walk. As you walk, you make your own road, and when you look back, you see the path you will never travel again. Traveler, there is no road, only a ship's wake on the sea. Thank you and congratulations. Muchas gracias y muchas felicidades.
Thank you, Dr. Kaidea, and thank you for joining us today and providing the wisdom and insight needed for our graduates and our nation's leaders to go forward. Dr. Kaidea, I got a little gift for you that I hope you are willing to wear prominently on your campus. Every once in a while, okay? We want you to keep your job, but we also want you to respect the OW. Okay? And now, to the main reason we are here today. You can do better than that. They're graduating. In a moment, Provost Lanu will step forward to get us started. Then you will cross the stage, graduates, to receive the symbol of your degree from me. Lastly, when we are back in our seats, we will conclude with the ceremonial moving of the tassel that marks the true completion of your studies. I now recognize our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. David Lanu, who will formally present today's graduation candidates.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you the members of the class of 2025 who have been recommended by the faculty to the Board of Trustees to receive the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Arts in Teaching, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Professional Studies, and Bachelor of Science, either having already completed all requirements associated with the degree or upon final completion of the degree. The Board of Trustees has empowered you to confer such degrees on its behalf. I ask you to do so now.
Will all graduation candidates please rise? Both master's degree candidates and bachelor degree candidates. All graduating candidates, please rise. Exactly. Every one of you. By the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York, I declare you who have completed all the requirements pertinent thereto, admitted to all the rights and privileges of your earned status, and I hereby confer upon you, with pleasure, the degree of Master of Art, Master of Science, Master of Arts in Teaching, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Professional Studies, and Bachelor of Science. The provost and our deans will now recognize our graduates. When you are called, please come forward, led by your academic marshal. The dean or director of your respective school will move to the microphone and call you by name. Please cross the stage, accept my congratulations, and most importantly, smile for your photo. If you don't smile, we have to do it twice, which takes longer, okay? So please smile. Also, as I mentioned to the graduates earlier today, this process will not be complete until we share our Move the Tassel moment near the end of today's ceremony. So please, let's be collegial and stay seated until all graduates have had the opportunity to cross the stage. Please don't walk out on your fellow graduates. You can be seated. I'm going to ask everyone in here, give them one more rousing round of applause. Dr. Lanu, please proceed.
First, we will recognize our master's graduates. Please welcome Dr. Cheryl Wilson of the School of Arts and Sciences.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master in Science and Data Science please come forward? Taruna Verma. Rama Shahid. Kevin Daniel Alfred Mertz. We now recognize the candidates for Masters in Mental Health Counseling. Whitney Angelique Whitaker. Bex Skenazi. Alexis Taylor Smith. Paola Cardenas. Tori Williams. Mishma T.L. Anderson. Jennifer Murphy. Rafaela Bevilacqua. Kristen Elizabeth Ferretti. Nicholas Michael Dascoli. Brittany Margaret Roche. Jaylene Giselle Velasquez. Tania Lassith Ulloa. Emily Yvette Chica. Nico Tessitore. Rashid Shamar Latif McCurdy-Ott. We now recognize students earning Masters in Liberal Studies. Maria Palmer. Joshua Peach. Now bring forward Dean Shalay Sims of the School of Business.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for students receiving a master's degree in accounting, forensic accounting, and taxation please come forward? Ryan Matthew Felon. Isabella Jova. Martin Alexander Garcia. Nelson Javier Herrera. Matthew Ryan Lopez. Derek A. Mendoza. Dustin Genko. Liam Russell Dahl. Richard Gray. Juan Jose Samaron Jr. Tania Ashley Dorsey Johnson. James Seraphin. Michael Connor Schiff. Justin Salvatore D'Angelo. Alexis Rose Oliver. Ruthie Fredericks. Emily Maria Cambria. Jessica Rose Lunarola. Jacob Roland Hybert Womath. Virginia L. Ramirez. Kavita Chandramohan. Christine Maria Jorge. Selah Giselle Reyes Guillen. Sebastian Pardo. Zachary Adam Siegel, sorry. Natalie Lawu. Brianna Kelsey Charles. Isabel Pasilico. Florena Velovic. Larissa Jean. Justin Edward Jimenez. Zaid Ishak Memon. Jessica Allison. Hayden Lennon. Cynthia Giselle Corrales Moran. Christina Alexandra Burry Ilbis. Maria John. Giovanni Bedoya. Elizabeth Marie Oberg. Muhammad Ali. Laura Graciela Vasquez. Loria T. Vasconcelos. I'd like to invite Dean Sukram to the podium for the School of Education.
Candidates in the School of Education receiving Masters of Arts in Teaching in Adolescence Education for Biology, English Language Arts, Mathematics, Social Studies, and Spanish. Please come forward. Paulette A. Wyatt. Michael Luke Machelino. David Thomas Bassett. Julie Marie Tofanio. Jesse Page Zimmerman. Thomas Hurdit. Ashlyn Dolarusso. Lianza Gavinovich. Sarah Nicole Lopes. Isabella Teresa Adamo. Patrice Rose Scarazzini. Nicole Emel Orales. Raven A. Marcel. Nicolette Alexis Galvez. Jacqueline Riley Signorelli. Catherine Teresa Birmingham. Jordan Elizabeth Axelrod. Sydney Lauren Ross. Patrick Francis Metzger. Nicholas Zaharia. Jacob Friedenberg. Noor Abdelarez. Candidates receiving master's degree in either childhood special education or literacy education. Tracy Lopez. Maria Licuna. Darby Taylor Stozito. Victoria Lynn Erdman. Amanda Rogoski. Brenda Alva Silverman. Nerilyn Rosa. Erica Rosas Reyes. Kathy L. Fan. Gina Nicole Venteri. Jessica M. D'Antonio. Elizabeth Grace Hatzfeld. Kirsten Marie Kilmeade. Julia Dunlap. Allison Grace Howe. Christopher Michael Hawkrider. Adriana Jasmine DeCaris. Gizam Sharifi Mimish. Mursal Amin. Joseph Robert Falcon. Sydney Alicia Bonella. Justin Kevin Gregory. Ryan Anthony Smith. Thomas Martin Steinert. Robert Garino. Tally Zigman. Danielle Marie Johnson. Jessica Barbara Townsend. Liliana Rose Felicia. Sean William Saporito. Gulsam Touche Kamilka. Jasmine Prezada. Noah Benjamin Rebesville. Alexandra Nicole Cavapel. Nicholas De La Roca. John Thomas Phelan III. Cody Richard Altieri. Faith Danielle Ginther. Elizabeth Ann Richetti. Marcus Andrew Roden. Philan Anise Smith. Brendan William Franco. Alexandra Bugas. Rachel Lynn Murphy. Alonzo Africa. Camila Acuna. Bethsaida Denise Guzman. Rosa Marcel Portillo. Guadalupe Gomez. Let's hear it for the School of Education graduate candidates.
And congratulations to all recipients of the master's degree. Now please welcome Mr. Gary Levanti of our School of Professional Studies as we start the recognition of our undergraduate students.
Thank you, Provost Lanou. I would like to invite the recipients for Bachelor of Professional Studies in Professional Studies and Bachelor in General Studies degrees. Deja Anissa Murray. Christina Costelli. Congratulations. Lawana. Corey Whistle. Karen Peja Vides. Yanaris Carol Escorza. Regina M. Pace. Jada Armani Susby. Jalen Cornelius Banks. Samira Maria Williams. Christian Figaro. Reniel Robinson. Angelina V. Goodrow. Ashley N. Mann. You want Zachary? Zachary Horowitz. Kamori Sutton. Justin Roman Cortez. Reginald Pierre Lewis. Christy Rose Chumreski. Lara Barbosa. Gisela Caba. Trayvon Christopher Ferguson. Peter Coro Young. Nora A. Nofal. Sujin Thomas Sobin. Brathwaite, yeah. Tajay Brathwaite. Isandra Natalie Albray. Tasani Elise Veronica Williams. Johnavy Ashley Gale. Mina Nicola. Carlos Mario Martinez. Congratulations. Thomas K. Greer. I would like to invite School of Business Dean Sims back to the podium.
Will the candidates for a Bachelor's of Science degree in accounting please come forward? Shubham Madan. Julio Josue Vasquez. Yvette Amelia Thomas. Josiah Louis Chalas. Joshua J. Isesa. Christian Morgan. Ariane Katayo. Max Luke Kern. Anthony Bolivar Bersueta. Robert Charles Minacho. Ai Ying Zhang. Brandon A. Delegro. Stephen Anthony Serrano. Kenia Quinteros. Brianna Rose Adams. Xiomara Areola. Aldair Brand. Anna Sanchez Macias. Henetsi Faye Odayan. Chelsea Petitfrere. Maria Zaid. Jennifer Marie Gainsford. Rose Mary Lule. Daniel B. Grimes. Carolyn Grace Stebner. Bashiri H. Clark Kane. Saida Nasia Anjum. Michelle Fernandez Cariente. Wilhelm Stocken. Brandon George DeMarinis. Stephanie Silva. Nicholas Graziosi. Dominic Michael Felicetti. Kyle James Cavadio. Joseph Frederick Morale III. Joel Prasad. Christian Moa Theranos. Edwin Thomas Reyes. William D. Albrecht. Randy Raphael Parada. Diane Jasmine Estrada. Jason Osvaldo Rivera. Min Soo Kim. Robert Velasquez. Sandy Bell Lucerito Perez Lucero. Luis Miguel Morales. Kareem Mohammed Nasir. Eileen Saeed. Will the candidates from the Department of Management, Marketing, and Finance please come forward? Faiza Kiani. Shanette Grant. Jadon Thompson. Santona Medina Joseph. Nicole Radice. Evelyn Martinez. Brianna Page Katz. Justine Andrea Desjardins. Jose Roberto Pereira. Brooke Morgan Dudka. Ariana Bella. Magdalena R. Abelard. Kimberly May Conforti. Natalie A. Rodriguez. Ryan Chetram. Nicholas Famaletti. Octavius Ivory Bailey. Cameron Todd Harewood. Cherie Monet Sherry. Kainat Ashfaq. Marissa Cooper. Vanessa Carolina Carcamo. Abdul Nasir. Siraj Siddiqui. Ahaz Shahid Qureshi. Patrick Centilius. Zoe Rivera. Gabriela Alejandra Contreras. Christine Eliani Delgado Cambiasaca. Sydney Royal. Jonathan Gabriel Villatoro. Justin Edmund Fennig. Alexa Lee Cancias. Christian Fabian Sanisaka. Aishan Nasibe Summer. Michael Allen Welty. Eric Soledad. Abe Aurora. Andriana Rafaela Diaz. Amina Shah. Caroline Gurr. Maitri Alpesh Vyas. Clementine Augustine Asuquo. Naimal Mahmoud. Tyus Ramos Caldera. Michaela Noel Pedota. Ishmael Ruiz. Humberto M. Ramirez. Drupad Chowdhury. Christendra Parashram. Carlos Ivan Murillo. Myrna Carolina Lopez. Jennifer Patricia Villegas. Hilmer Adane Melgar. Eric Idelsi Mejia. Brandon LaSalle Clancy. Amal Assad Idrisi. Louis Peluso. Joseph Andrew McCaskill. Gladson Gladji Chaco. Jennifer Megan Pescariello. Matthew James DiFergilio, Jr. Jose Rivera. Rumel Khan. Jaswinder Singh. Hassan Khan. Philip Alvin Rankin. Sylvia Carolina Merlos Meza. Godson Udemizu. Tristan Frederick Branch. Mohammed Talha. Juan Arango. Irfan Rasi. Antonia Grandin. I'd like to invite back to the podium Dr. Diana Supram, Dean of the School of Education.
Welcoming School of Education candidates receiving their Bachelor of Arts in Adolescence Education, Social Studies, Biology, Mathematics. Arlene Lucy Shahavalka. Jasmine Lucero. Julissa Acosta. Luis Paul Tamiso. Jessica Villegas Banegas. Jonathan David. Alexander Zaborowski. Angel Chavez Rubio. Matthew D'Angelo. Tyler Quinn Locke. Ryan William Vicino. Siobhan Elisa Toussaint. Owen Bryson McCain. School of Education candidates receiving Bachelors of Arts in Childhood Education and Literacy. Nicole Perez Santiago. Iris Nayeli Alvarado Melara. Maria L. Medina. Ingrid Salema Luna. Iquaya Monique Haywood. You're welcome. Kimberly Tiana Martinez. Sienna Aliyah Johnson. Sophie Wesley Fischetti. Maria Reyes. Daniela Ferraro. Daniela Ragusa. Erica Cruz Morel. Madison Minjin Worm. Stephanie Don Casella. David James Sheridan. Jessica Alvarado. Angela Newland. Narisha Ashley Prasad. Josie Caroline Escobar. Kiera Brucato. Darla Rose Baela. Dixia Garnados. Gina Marie Bartnicki. Stephanie Fratiani. Nicole Quasi. Alexandria Brooke Bosey. Elizabeth Secreta. Tashani Shani Rainford. Alexandria Rossi. Emma Koutsis. Amanda Marie Giacometti. Natalie Almendarez. Deliana Abreu Tejada. Emily Alvareni. Stacy Garcia Oriana. Ana Valenturo. Victoria Garvana. Yaselin Ivette Castillo Tercios. Jacqueline Rose Rosano. Diana Velasquez Villatoro. Rosalind Elena Iglesias. Rebecca Russo. Wendy Marie Frenary. Emily Renee Anderson. Feza Assad. Lindsay Nicole Reyes. Ashley Marie Cosgrove. Breslan Perez Veliz. Isabel Maria Carpio. Angela Enriquez de Leon. Emma Catherine Nymphius. Maya Divi Prasad. Mackenzie Pauline Owen. Isabel Angelina Reed. Leanne Marie Taylor. Carrie Galicia Lopez. Sahari Waman. Jerily J. Garcia. Kimberly Melanie Bonilla. School of Education candidates for Bachelor of Science in Special Education with Childhood Education. Christina Yesenia Delgado. Veronica Alexandria Garcia. Melanie Christine Sena. Kevin Robert Tuffy. Eleanor Casal. Danielle Monique Howard. Elijah Bailey. Alexandra Pasante. Gabriela Sparaccio. Ashley Neira Acevedo. Christy Anung Laplanche. Hayline Giselle Torres. Christine Stacy Yanza. Welcoming Dean Wilson to the stage.
I'm pleased to welcome the degree candidates in American Studies. Gabrielle Gambuza. Jannavi Smith-Papi. There, Tim. Timothy John Coventry. There. John Michael DeLiso. Carla Simone Scott. Dylan Murphy. Christian Jaden Don Coriolan. Damar Jonathan Josephs. Amira Rose Francois. Garcelle J. Brunache. Kayla Kidd. Drew Patrick Champagne. Chloe Isabella Cutting. Danielle Jakara Headley. Alexander Ian Elric Campbell. Michael George Papachen. Celine Denise Osdemer. Faith Teresa Marie Gardner. Middle name? Anthony Pams Cabrera. Courtney Henderson. Allison Garcia Oriana. Naya Eileen Sotelo. Jacob Andrew Taramina. Maxine Newhouse. Ava Sarah Holdgruen. Juliana Iris Vasquez. Jaden Michael Nunez. Aaliyah Jazea Ladie. Cassandra G. Brown. Nelson E. Benitez. Nolan E. Salter. Alexia Paula Kroll. Akash T. Singh. Karen Alice Baines. Madison Christine DeFelice. Gianna Lojudas. Shayna Whitney Walls. Chris Brickle. We now welcome the students from Biological Sciences. I got you. Sammy Girardi. There. John Edward Bermudez. Jeremiah Benjamin Rosius. Nicholas Evans Loye. Sasha Alexandra Romero Matias. Tiana Monique Martin. Stania Jean-Baptiste. Leah Mackenzie Harrigan. Nabia Malik. Vishal Ratu. Samantha Sue Bellantoni. Denise Alexandra Zelaya. Talia Sydney Austin. Yanis Gabrielle Douglas. Laura Ann. Melissa M. Nelly. Grace Hingyun Hui. Shimra Khan. Brittany R. Urena. Justin Alberto Aguirre. Jose Lorenzo Bune Santos. Julio Cesar Palacios. Samuel T. Adebayo. Abel C. Monachan. Sophia Yakubov. Alicia Qureshi. Eviania Katehis. Sarah Mary Remyas. Sarah He Blaze. Lisbeth Adriana Almendarez. Soraya Emma Schmitz. Angadi Marin Sanchez. Levi Venti. Tiago Andres Tirado. Rishi Patel. Madhya Sajad Wali. Tareem Zara Nukbi. Kathleen Agnes Bartels. Priscilla Jean Bedell. Luisa Ramos. Nancy Janet Bonilla Vigil. Mahima Alyssa Ghani. Zanab Shazad. Deandra Marie Santiago. Muskan Sehal. Anis Shazad. Julissa Echevarria. Elijah Prince Joseph Black. Adikwa Basharat. Fatima Bali. Jaleel Ray Lynch. Nayeli Amarilis Vicioso. Janelle Robin Sam. Arbaz Khan. Aspia Aliyah Shafi. Thanmai Katharoju. Allison Marie Mendoza. Sharon Marin. Gerald Davis Hernandez Canales. Pablo Alfredo Guzman. Matthew David Johnson. Catherine Kopchuk. Solomon Theodore Shiner. Maba Jahuba. We now welcome the students from chemistry, biochemistry, and our inaugural class of physics graduates. Asad Imam. Adrian Rafael Taveras. Brandon John Imhoff. Gabriela Maria Anzalone. Elena Michelle Riley. Melody Yael Kadashon. Joseph Logan Orenstein. We now welcome the students earning degrees in English. Mallory Isabel Benoni. Dalton Brian Reedy. Tobias James Rook. Sarah Nasser. Gina Marie Rodrigo. Jillian G. Fowler. Ariel Asher Ross. Carlos Donaldo Correas. Yeri Stephanie Mayorga. Maggie Elizabeth Perth. Suha Syed. Olivia N. Amberry. Audra Blake. Alexis Marie Adrian. Marcela Maria Joaquin. Diana Velasquez. We now recognize the students earning degrees in history, philosophy, and environmental studies. Andrew Smith. Kathleen Mary Mackey. Daniel Harrison Schwartz. Brooke Marie Mojica. James Richard Ponset. Grace Robinson Shipsky. Marcus Scott Furr. Vincent Arroyo. Robert James Zdenek. Lauren Trimble. Xavier James Miles. James Raymond Lyle. Katie Stephanie Bonilla. Jacqueline Hernandez. Jennifer Jamie Giordano. Yaritza Franco. Jasly Alexa Velasquez. Emery Louise Walsh. Jack Corbett. Patrick Anthony Quinn. We now recognize graduates in liberal arts. Corinne Neglia. We now welcome our students earning degrees in math, computer science, and management information science. Stephen Foster. James J. McWegan Jr. Jackson T. Beach. Edward Patrick Nolan III. Nazif M. Mufti. Shamir Mufti. Muhammad Hassan Anayat. Akash Saini. Ryan Roy Borges. Reginald Santillo.
Adebayo Bami Adeni.
Adebayo Bamidele Adeni. Frank Valdez. Saida Nurin Unjum. Aiden Solano. Thomas Albrecht. Philippe Bernard Janjil. Dimitri Guerriere. Darshan Rahendra Patel. Roshan Manmadhan. Genesis Yates. Thomas Gabriel Gomez Morabel. There? Gotcha. Little traffic jam. Calvin Standard. Tyrone Lewis Jr. Gerard Murrow. Sarai Kenneth Yaw. Yushin Chen. Shaquan T. Farrell. Dayan Nadim. Joel Galeas. Miriam Jennifer Sanchez. Surat Alam Buyan. Rahul Kekar. Donovan Israel Maldonado Ruales. Serena Vina Kaniha. Dylan Alex. Alexa Yamalex Rivera. Naval Server. Logan Sherlock. Marcos Isael Padilla Acevedo. We now recognize our students from Modern Languages. Yendi Torres Perez. Christina L. de Blasio. Gabriela Gutierrez. Emma Elizabeth Egan. Laura Flores Velasquez. Josue Green. Jocelyn Mariela Rondon Caceres. Kimberly Nicole Sanabria. Lisberry Del Carmen Aracena. Lucibeth Osorio. Deborah Mendez. We now welcome our graduates from Politics, Economics and Law, Industrial and Labor Relations, and Economics. Joseph Sanichara. Ahmed A. Kalik. Leslie Guzman. Jason Yvette Ribas Campos.
Thank you.
Michael Ernesto Costarelli. Christopher Terrell. Melissa Imani Merchant. John Joseph Kern Jr. Shanice Kasana Hyde. Naya Yolanda Williams. Kayla N. Miller. Bria Catrice Brooks. Aaliyah Moore. Ryan Shangi. Nikai Newell. Jacob L. Mott. Nicholas Torres. James Francis Ledden. Ange Marseille. Natalie Grace Malatino. Elizabeth Ariel DiMartino. Diana Dominica Sereno Contreras. Natalie Marie Reyes. Andrea A. Matos. Amelia Baltia Stryker. Makaya Morales Ryan. Lathalie Lara Lescott. Caitlin M. Tefley. Monica Rosalina Avalar. Surpreet Saini. Jason Dionarine. Shanda Manning. Andrea Ramnarine. Farzan Ashraf. Yumna Shafiz. Anne Christine Jean. Olivia Lynn Turpin. Jadelis Baez. Daniel Jose Boatman. Alassane Diarra. Krista S. Fields. Liesia Janaya Dawson. We now welcome our students earning degrees in psychology. Maria Alejandra Vasquez Monje. Fernanda Romero. Brianna Ariel Fernandez. Carrie K. Jackson. Pahal Singh. Aliyah Attar. Trinity Rebecca Rentz. Emily Lisette Ruiz. Jake P. Seiden. Carlos Quincy Cox. Anthon Brown. Dennis Evan Gudiel. Aaliyah Foster. Spency Sajan. Jessica Ebony Ellerby. Corey William Mapert. Kieran John Schendel. David Garcia. Angelique Renette Armfield. Louisa Izabigbe Nichols. Yolanda A. Martinez. James Edgar Grassi IV. Ani Yashvili. Hold whatever you want. Hold it over your head. Tanya Bijou. Marcy Bridget Moya. Sabrina Ann Moray. Nathan Tavora Janechill. Latavia Elizabeth Stewart. Isabel Torres. Madison Sienna Felix. Alicia Lene Ulloa. With Marilee Pierre. Claire Bauer. Dania Lisette Sarmiento. Kaylee Gelasi Ochoa. Nyla Emily Paul. Christine Boyer. Olivia Leilani Nevea Rodney. Zaria Denson. Irene Reyes. Sylvia Telez Perez. Stacy Nicole Castillo. Melissa Vargas. Devis Adelaida Hernandez Reyes. Gabriel Elias Blanco. Nicholas Patrick Maloney. Nakari Maria Perez. Belnelli Zapata Ramos. Sandra Guevara. Johanna Duran. Janae Adriana Grant. Farah Lila Naeem. Michaela Mackenzie McKay. Michaela Lauren McDowell. Angelica Reyes. Cassidy Madison Russo. Caitlin Patricia Begley. Diana Nicole Drew. Kamaya Danae Shinnery. Jennifer Yvette Vasquez. Liana Beta Ramdeo. Janaya Alicia Arce. Nikia Shante Finlay. Sabrina E. Costa. Isa Iraj. Sarah L. Noriega. Yuanique Brown. Amanda Brooke Chasin. Sahar Pertah. Mary Nagin Chicado. Ashton T. Greaves. Emily Noemi Sarabia. Shemaya McCurdy Ott. Ashley Zuriel Santos Sigenza. Edwin Gutierrez. Cindy Jennifer Barahona. Tatiana Nicole Barluck. Kimberly Denise Luna. Sumair Hiranand. Paula Ingrid Mendoza de Escalante. Catherine Escobar. Cynthia L. Fuentes Iucida. Amanda Fabiola Argueta Bonilla. Dominique D. Mihave. Jillian Marie Marcel. Alyssa Evelyn Faye Furchert. Christina Jillian Lane. Ryan Tucker. Christian Alejandro Yanis Lazo. Isabella Elise Villagomez. Chinyore Felicia Akazi. Jesse Victoriano Choi. Sonoma Janice Arnaldi. Anton Seaman. Saira Pena. Yubran Alexander Pineda Hidalgo. Chelsea Adrian Abraham. Castine Brianna Williams. Austin Marlon Torres. Christopher Toussaint. Sierra Ringling. Samira Stroman. Farai Adia Wilson. I'm pleased to welcome our candidates for degrees in public health. There. Natalia Dumont. Jeannie Batista. Caitlin Ann Jean-Michel. Huda Sadia Ponder. Keith Patrick Russo. Anna Ogunsanya. Shristi Batarai. Cheryl Nishad. Johndeep Kaur. Catherine Maraverer. Leslie Tatiana Contreras. Alexandria M. Caras. Joseph F. Azello. Tania S. Davis. Delano Daly. Jasmine Y. Sanchez. Sarah Lynn Greenberger. Mary M. Yanza. Kalina Jade Linares. Janelle Alicock. Madison F. Dannon. Kirsten Jean. Kadeen Shoshana Knight. Adetola Damayere Bayo Sebiotimo. Sarana Joseph. Rebecca Newman. Ashley Francis McBurney. Chelsea Rambarose. Marcos G. Loyola. Kayla Simone Wilson. Samina Akhtar. Kamari Darby. Nicholas Andrew Lunas. Sadman Siyam Akhtar. Darwin Jesus Munoz. Matthew L. Murillo. Angelica Gabrieles Gonzalez Amador. Elizabeth Mancia. Chelsea Mariah Saavedra. Isabel Marie Callie. We now welcome our students in sociology and criminology to the stage. Joshua Kodiak Jacob. Isatu Sek. Joseph Benjamin Vargas. Ivana Rogers. Catherine Victoria Fuhrer. Emelina Michaela Battle. Jessica Anastasia Morales. Jessica Lauren Antone Casas. Alexandra Markey. Jacqueline Martinez. Miles Joseph Lewis. Victoria Friedman. Alexa Lugo. Courtney Karina Hall. Laura Sofia Guerrero. Jada Nicole Williams. Ariana Brooms. Brianna Lucy Cherise Nipabi. Ariana Jessica Arker. Torian Wise Jr. Patricia Pusateri. Elsa Sagrario Zavala Velasquez. Lindsay Claire Brown. Carly Melinda Schuster. Walter Alvarez. Garima Debbie Ruhan. Tia Shante Coltrane. Monica Indira Saunders. Apologies. Monica Indira Saunders. Eberling Jasmine Dubon. Angelina Belmonte. Melanie Gabriana Ramdiel. Genesis Torres Villalobos. Rihanna Anita Hutchinson. Kyle Jackson. Casey A. Velez. Sydney Rain Alvarez. Roxana Veronica Parada. Jalen Marie Crusetta. Joshua Felix Reisick. Jordan Rodriguez. Cindy Janet Guzman. Jamie Michelle Calocha Romero. Stephanie Rodriguez. Harman Prem Ganchani. Kiara Jean-Jacques. Jeff Bertus. Danilo Concepcion Bonilla Jr. Shelby Helena Zedlovich. Giselle Yamilet Cruz. Grace Francis Chiletto. Steve Juarez Ramirez. Jenna Linan Esposito. Jenna Marie Gaspa. Hillary A. Bennett. Morgan Albright. Ruben Goncalves Teixeira. Evelyn Ann Martell. Alana Elizabeth Monet Wallace. Larissa Ashley Ketchum. Gianna Joan Grow. Sandra Elizabeth Mejia. Thomas R. Sparrow. Kieran Gilbert. Michael O. Obi. Amari Charles. Karina Gonzalez Alvarez. Bianca Chastity O'Neill. Madison Rose Peraza. Crystal Jules Sarah Montrose. We now recognize our students earning degrees in visual arts. Victor Manuel Aquino. Go that way. There. Amaria Sienna Munlin. Kimberlyn Tatiana Gardado. Isabella Sofia Romano. Krista Victoria Romandetti. Angela Nicole Guzman. Chioma Lynn Azema. Jordan Alexa Gonzalez. Angelica Joy Tan Abahar. Isabella Maria Rosenthal. Delilah Laureano. Sarah Taha Wali. Nadia T. Wali. Jade Davine Thompson. Zaria Ayana Williams. Abdil Rahman Amin. Kyle A. Myhand. Mackay Green. Nicholas Robert Lang. Joshua Philippone. Jeffrey G. Valdez. Terrell James Daly. Herbert A. Naries Jr. Alexander John Pergola. Jamie Ann Cecilia Coetzee. Jennifer Tercios. Helena Economides. Rachel Lynn. We now recognize our inaugural graduate from our Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies program, Riley Marie Siebert. Congratulations, graduates.
Let's give them a round of applause. You can do better than that. There you go. My congratulations to the graduates. Graduates, will you please stand? This is the final step. Hopefully your tassel is on the right side of your mortarboard. On the count of 3, you can move your tassel to the left side, which signifies that you have graduated. And we're going to cheer as loudly as we can. 1, 2, 3. Graduates, I'll ask you to be seated for one more moment, please, so I can get you out to your families. Before we leave, it is appropriate for us to give thanks to the many people who've made this moment possible. First, let me thank those who were responsible for making this day so special. Over 80 staff volunteers with teams from our facilities rental and facilities department, and our commencement co-chair, Dr. Joanne Robinson and Mr. Nicholas Capriola. Next, let me thank all the members of the SUNY Westbury faculty and staff. The work they do 7 days a week, 365 days a year, makes celebrations like this possible. Nor would anyone's graduation be possible without the support, emotional, spiritual, and financial, of the families and loved ones of the members of the class of 2025. To the mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers, spouses, and children, to each and every loved one who supported someone who graduated today, we thank you. Thank you also. Thank you also today to those graduates who have participated in the Class of 2025 gift campaign. You are the inaugural class to receive green and white philanthropy cords. Wear them proudly. You are helping to create scholarships in support of those students who follow you. I urge the rest of the class of 2025 and all others in attendance today to help this class to provide the largest gift to date. Use the QR code found on the inside rear cover of your program and make a donation today. Lastly, there is one other group I'd like to recognize. With the class of 2025, Old Westbury's family of alumni will have grown to approximately 38,000 in number. If you are a graduate of SUNY Old Westbury, whether the class of 2025 or any other year before, please make some noise. Graduates, this brings to an end our 59th commencement ceremony. I am confident that your professors have taught you well and that you are ready to tackle life challenges. Be smart, be safe, be active, and absolutely own your future. As our commencement exercises conclude, I ask that the audience stay in their seats until the formal recessional is completed. Thank you all for being here today. And one last time, congratulations to the class of 2025.
Are you ready?
Yes.